Welcome back, everyone. 欢迎大家回来。今天是第55天yeah, we're coming on 2 months. 2 months. It's business as usual on this side of things. Let's see. Let's go over yesterday's stuff. Oh, yesterday's stuff wasn't too bad, actually. A little smaller. We're getting close to a milestone on the HSK1 coverage. How many do we average a day? It's about 4. Yeah. Oh, yesterday was kind of rough. Oh, it's flattening out because it's a double day. Our lesson, our Wanikani peak day was so long that it went over the 24-hour period. That's why there is that. I see. I flattened it out. Okay, so let's go over this. Benren. Benren is supposed to be yourself. What's the problem? So the main character, that was our mnemonic now. The main person is yourself, which is the main character. Oh, this is the score thing. To compare parts is to look at the score. This was reading error. Straight up human error. So it was on tone. Oh, this is tool. I didn't come up with anything better other than I don't have anything better for that at the moment. 视图. You have to picture in your head and then try it out, right? Or test it out. Picture in your head and test it out. Did we come up with a different... No, that'll be fine for now. This was a read human error. So southeast. This was doing the difference between Sherlock and Shrek. Sherlock and Shrek. So it is indeed Sherlock. Okay. Let's get into our lesson. Might be a little bit on the lower side, largely because peak day kind of takes a lot of energy from Wanikani side of things. 鸡蛋. Chicken egg. A chicken egg is a chicken egg. Or an egg. Yeah. 鸡蛋. Don't know how to say boiled.
煮鸡蛋.
煮鸡蛋. 新鲜鸡蛋.
新鲜鸡蛋.
鸡蛋慢慢
slowly, yeah. 慢慢. The very definition of slowly is saying the slow twice, yeah. It's still slow, so you can still write slow. 慢慢 慢慢地说，慢慢地说，慢慢来，慢慢来 is my a go-to phrase. 慢慢来 or 慢慢去 as well. 慢慢去，慢慢来. Take your time leaving, right? Like in two different directions. 慢慢
慢慢跑道
跑道 track. Oh yeah, for like a way to run, something or more like a road to run, a road or a street to run on, like a track. Well, what the heck is that? What the heck is that first character? 跑道跑跑道跑船两窗
绕跑道跑2圈，
圈 oh it's second 圈 that's right circle or around 圈
绕跑道跑2圈，绕跑道跑2圈，
绕跑道跑两圈绕 interesting 这条跑道的江度是多少？
这条跑道的长度是多少？
这条跑道的长度 oh it's 长 this time not 长 because of length dang it 长度是是的到多少呢都多少这条跑道的长度是多少 OK
跑道外号
尾号 outside number. If you want a nickname, you can call yourself a number and use that outside instead of your normal name. Okay. This one's just gonna be weird. 给人起外号。
给人起外号，
给人起外号 interesting give someone a 给人 so give some or give a person give someone 起外号给人起 maybe like 人起 is someone that's a weird one 他的外号叫 等等呀等等外号 oops
外号洗手间
okay 洗手间 we don't need it 我需要去洗手间这个洗手间太小了请问洗手间在哪里Yeah, classic stuff.
洗手间鸡蛋外号慢慢跑道 洗手间
Okay. Next one. 不客气. Oh, forward? No, 不客气. Wait. 不客气. 不客气? 不客气. Oh, whoa. I need help with this one. I need a sample.
不客气
不
客气
客气, really? I'm more inclined to say 不客气, but or it could have been 不客气. Oh, wow! I haven't even considered this.
不客气
客气. And then T is 4 here. So this is how do they do this? No guess air, right? That doesn't help. That's why I used no. Oh yeah, that doesn't help at all either. When you say you're welcome, it is a polite way of saying there is no need for someone to formally thank you, and thus give off the air of an unfamiliar guest as a result. Ah, no other words. In other words, you are saying it's no big deal and you're welcome. It's no big deal is what I think of. But like 客气 is polite. It's like need for formality. 客气, polite and formality. So no need for politeness or formality. So no worries, right? It's my pleasure. Yeah, don't mention it. Yeah. I think don't mention it is closer, or like no need for formalities, right? It's not. There's another one, I can't be bothered. That's a different regional thing, but 哎，不客气. And the way they said is
谢谢你的帮助，不客气。
不客气. Interesting. 谢谢，不客气。
谢谢，不客气。
不客气. Like 不客气 is what I would sound more often. 不客气, but and even like 不客气 might sound a little weird. Okay, so 客气 I'm behind, but 不
谢谢，不客气。
不客气. Just gonna shorten it. I don't know. But it won't help us get the right answer though.
不客气
Yeah, 不客气. Right, 不客气.
车号
车号, oh, our number, yeah, license plate number. That's fair. 请告诉我. I gotta remember that I keep typing 4, but it's actually a silent 5. 请告诉我您的车号. 车号.
请告诉我您的车号。
车号.
车号
License.
慢跑
慢跑 slow run. Jog. I like this one. 慢跑. 他慢跑了一公 what is that? 一公斤? 一公里?
他慢跑了1公里。
里 Oh, it's still 里. Oh, 一公里. I should have just taken the guess. I was trying to stay away from Lee, but 一公里. Is that the same? I thought there was another radical. That's fine. 一公里.你平 yeah 你平常 maybe 你平常慢跑吗？
你平常慢跑吗？
Yeah 你平常慢跑吗？我要去慢跑。对，
慢跑，
慢跑。
洗脑，
洗脑 yeah brainwash, literally brainwash, wash brain. The easiest way to brainwash someone is to open their skull and wash their brain. The English word brainwash actually comes from this Chinese word. Oh really? I didn't know that. Oh, that's kind of cute. It's probably like, well, yeah, duh. Now I'm just like, what? Interesting. That's a fun one. Brainwash. Huh. My parents don't use this word very often. I don't use this word very often. Oh no, the government brainwashes the youth. I don't know how to say government, and I don't recognize those characters. 洗脑年轻 right 年轻人
政府洗脑年轻人。
Oh, it's one 年轻人政府 I should have known that. 政府洗脑年轻人 We're not going to go into this. That's a very hot take. What are you again? 他别 That's 别 right? 他别洗脑了。
他被洗脑了。
被他被洗脑了。It kind of sounds like senile. Like okay. 洗脑
问号，
问号 So question mark, I guess. A number is kind of a mark, I suppose. The question mark is a symbol that looks like a curvy number. Oh, 7 that we use to indicate gas. Oh, that's good. I like that. 打个问号 What? Put a question mark? 打个问号 Okay. Oh no, 问号 Wait. Yeah, 问号 Sorry, wrong
问号，
tone. 问号问号 We just put a question mark for speeding.
不客气，
不客气 I'll have to look that up
洗脑，
to get a second opinion.
车号，问号，慢跑，鸡，
G machine. Yep. Checks out. Jimmy Neutron is in front of the house where he has created a strange machine that resembles something you see out of a sawmill. He puts a tree in one end and a cocoon man. Oh yeah, I forgot the whole thing is a cocoon man. Pops out the other end. In fact, this machine is none other than a cocoon man machine, the origin of them all. Okay. That's a big leap, but 手机 G. Oh my goodness, that's kind of cute. Jicha. That's kind of cute. Jicha. Beiji. Keji. Interesting. Keji. Da. Something. What is in the middle? Da. Ying. Yeah, like Yingdong. Da. Yingji. Oh, because it sounds like inkjet. Or no. It's fine.
鸡
Gene.
话
Wow, okay, talk. Or it can be talk, but since it's a character, I'm gonna put language as well, probably. And speech. And speak. Probably. So tongue. Oh, is this the same thing? Oh yeah, they just flatten the top. It could be curved too. If 1,000 different mouths or people all speak the same, then they could be said that they have a common tongue, yeah. Or 1,000 taste buds, right? It's the same thing. We're fine.
话
So what do we got? We got Hulk. The Hulk is in the bathroom of the auditorium, giving himself a pep talk. Before a play he is starring in, he practices the words from his play lines as he speaks the words from his pep talk, some bouncing off of his huge green tongue. Fair enough. It hits the mirror, breaking it. That is some strong talk. The bathroom attendants to run and start cleaning all the shards. Talk. They talk. I'm gonna write these because it's okay. 电话 right? 电话 dialogue 对话 interesting 对话 说话 yeah, that's where I got the speak thing. Speech, yeah, and then there's speech. 讲话 and Mandarin 普通话 maybe 普通话 yeah 普通话 okay, which deals with the whole language aspect, but language in the terms of the speaking component of the language.
话认
认 to recognize. Yes, kind of like 认识 right? 认识 a blade. Oh boy, it's a sword, but now it has a drop. What drops from the handle of a sword? None other than the blade of course. Make sure it is firmly attached, because if it drops on the ground, the blade will shatter and the sword will be useless. Okay, all right. I see where you're going with this. I see what you're going with this. I'll keep that in mind. And it's a blade. 刃. Okay, got it. Okay.
认
刃. So what are you gonna do with a blade, a heart, and some words? What is... Who's R? Robin Hood in the bathroom of the infirmary doing with a blade, a heart, and some words? Let's go. Robin Hood is in the bathroom of the infirmary with bandages wrapped around his head, suffering from amnesia. He does not recognize where he is. And seeing the many uniformed doctors and nurses, decides that he has been captured. He has been captured his enemies? That he has been captured? Maybe like by his enemies? The rich? The rich. He wants to be recognized as a village hero and refuses to be converted into an agent for the rich. He takes out a blade and stabs himself in the heart while saying, "No words will make me do your bidding." Wow, that got really dark. The doctors scramble to save him from killing him or unaliving himself as his blood spurts out and onto the towel. Okay, that's... I think Ko and Kevin has something in common when it comes to very dark imagery as opposed to some positivity. To recognize. Are there any other synonyms that I can think of when it comes to Ren? Recognize is fine. Familiar. Familiar to familiarize. I'm gonna say like to be familiar. Familiarize. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and to know? I forgot about to know. To know. To understand. Knows. Understands. Known. Understood. Okay. Right. It's like 认宅. Oh, 认识. Whoops. Yeah, that's 认识. That's the 识. 认识. 真. 认真. Yeah, 认真. Earnest. 认齐. 认情. Whoops. 认情. To see clearly. 认情. Interesting. To confirm. Don't know what you are. None? Oh. 确认. 认出. Oh, so they use 认出 for the thing. I use 认识. 认识 is my prototypic. That's what happened to like being familiar and understanding and knowing. Less understand. You know what? Let's remove understand. Understand is not quite, it's too much of a stretch. But to know, or to be known, or to be familiar. When you 认识 someone, you are familiar, or you're familiar with them, or you know them. Large to recognize them as well. Right. 认.
认
Okay, tongue. 话.
话
The talk. 认.
认
Oops, to recognize, yeah, see.
鸡
Had a feeling that was gonna happen. Okay. 后. 后. To wait? Is this the same hoe? Harry Potter is in the bathroom of the bakery, trapped. Slenderman is on the other side, and he has blocked it with a rod. He has some sort of curling stone waiting. He has nothing else to do other than to wait. He sits on a curling stone and throws darts. Okay. Darts at the door while waiting. He is craving a croissant because croissants are in the bakery all the time. Unfortunately, he will have to wait. So Slenderman basically trapped Harry Potter in the bathroom. Harry Potter's in the bathroom and just waiting it out. To wait. 时候. Ew. 时候. 有时候. 气候的时候 and is that 伺候 oh, so they used 事后 and 伺候 oh, I can kind of see where the time thing comes in waiting. Oh, this one's gonna be kind of tough. I think of it more as a time thing. We'll see if that becomes a problem. I don't know. Yeah.
后远
Yuan. Okay, distant, that's fine. A cloak. Oh boy. Let's see, we have a dress, a mouth, and some soil. A gentleman is walking down the street wearing a cloak, which is sort of a dress, I suppose. Soil keeps on raining from the sky, landing on top of his head and getting into his mouth. But because he's wearing a cloak, the soil does not ruin his clothing beneath. This is because he was properly dressed for the equation. What the? Oh my goodness. Alright. Alright. I'll just have to settle with that. Is it a cloak? Yeah, okay. That's fine. We'll eventually get reinforcement.
远
Good. Alright, so what do we do with a cloak and a scooter here, Yugi? So Yugi is in the basement of the pawn shop wearing a black cloak, ready to begin his journey. He places a card on the pawn shop basement wall and it opens, revealing a large underground... Oh yeah, that's right, it's no scooter, it's a road. That's right, a road. Yugi stares down the distant, straight underground road, which does not seem to have an end. He walks down it into the distant darkness. Yeah, distant. We're gonna add far away. Far off. Even long. No, that's not. It's just far away and far off is good. Not close. Not close is probably a good one in case I lose it. Okay. What the heck? Long term ends up being Chang Changyuan. Changyuan. What the? Alright, that's kind of a rough one in the future. Forever is Bing. What's that Bing? Bingyan. Oh, Yong? Oh, oh yeah, Yong. Yeah, like Yo Yong. Yong. Yongyuan. Yongyuan. Interesting. Distant. Yan Chu. Oh, this must be the thing. Liao. Liao Yuan. But Yuan stands alone as distant.
远欢
Oh, like in 喜欢 joyous. She was joy too, wasn't it? Oh boy. A boombox. They could be speakers. The 2 square amounts represent the large speakers. Yeah, like there's speakers. All right. Anyways, cry cool makes sense. Does this have any? I don't think there's anything that deals with boombox. I just typed boo by accident. A stork. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's a turkey with a boombox. Oh my gosh. Boombox, turkey, and what the heck is at the top? Are those supposed to be flowers? Oh my gosh, they're modified flowers. Okay, so the stork is kind of like a flying turkey. Storks, according to myth, delivers babies to new parents. This one's a bit different. Instead of only delivering flowers and a boombox, such is the modern world. This is gonna be tough. This is gonna be very tough. Okay. Joyous. Rejoice, folks. It's a stork. How do you spell stork? Okay.
欢
Okay, Juan. Alright, Hulk is in front of the pawn shop taking a break from work when a stork lands in front of him. Okay, carrying a bill in his beak. But the beak is a bill. A bill in its bill? I mean, a bill in his beak. This is very joyous occasion because the stork has shown the Hulk the Hulk owes some anger, which he gives to the stork by strangling it and making him empty of anger, instead joyous. What the heck is going on here? Okay, joy is acceptable. I'm also gonna say like, pleased, please, like to be pleased. Let's just write please. Desire, want. Okay. 喜欢, right, to like. 欢快, lively, interesting. 欢快, no, 欢快, and then to welcome. 欢迎, no, 欢迎, oh, that's ying, oh yeah, 欢迎, yeah, that's makes sense, that's ying, my bad.
欢
joyous. Okay. Was this supposed to be a coat? It's a cloak. This one's gonna suck. That one sucks so much. Almost as sucky as this one. Oh my gosh. Cloak, basement, road. Harry Potter. Not Harry. No, wait. Oh, what's happening? What is going on? Like, I can't think of what the Y is supposed to be. Oh, it's freaking Yugi. Today is not a good day. Today is not. We're already having problems. Stork, Bill.
欢
I can cloak. Show you a cloak.
后
I was thinking of this earlier.
远
I can't. Okay. That just looks weird. Oh my gosh, those are gonna be problems. Oh, alright. I'm already seeing the problems going to happen. Alright, we're gonna attempt to lock in here. It's 3. There's just no way I'm going to be able to remember this stuff. Like, the silencing. Like, the non-silencing and the silencing. There's just no way. We're gonna have to do something about this. I think this ticks me off so much. Like, it's not that. Like, oh. It was a 50-50 because I didn't want to wait. Oh, I need to do something about that.
零下
温度降到零下20。
骑 拿到
他拿到了证书。
I was gonna write to obtain, but that one sucks awful too because it's arriving. How do we mix up arriving? I think Dao is not good enough. We have to change, we have to change up Dao as well. Dao is not sufficient. This character, to think of it as arrive, is throwing me off so hard. Gotta change that up. My gut was saying to obtain, to get, but then when I tried to think of it in its kanji, right? Not kanji, but Hanzi, like the Hanzi they ascribed, it threw me astray. And we gotta fix that. That's not helping.
口渴
你口渴吗？
干净，
现在干净了。
拿手，
他开车很拿手。
最，
Most. Yes.
绝，
Did I add? Oh, okay. Okay.
电子，
我喜欢看电子书。
I don't know what to do about this right now. I think right now the example, there are more examples of silent things than there are non-silent things. So the exception, the once exception is not the rule, right? The rule is that most things are not silent. The rule is most things are silent at the moment, and that's creating a discrepancy. So you don't think of the mnemonic as not being a silent children, you think of it as being silent most of the time. So that doesn't help. That's the problem I'm trying to think about circumventing. So far we only have 2 that are non-silent, and we have 6 that are silent, I think, if not more. And that would be a recurring problem. Not in speech, but in reading and typing.
个人，
我个人认为，
The lesson? Yeah. Oh, whoops. Read that.
课本，
把课本分发给同学们。
Uh-oh. This is the courthouse, right? Yugi in the bathroom of the pawn shop. With a courtyard? Hills, dollhouse, Chinese mile, yes.
院，
Courtyard. I have no idea why that's not anymore. I have no idea why this is not. A shack with ice. Oh, even your snot. Okay. Jeez. Rote memory to the rescue.
有着，
我们有着共同的历史。
有名，
他很有名。
十几，
我拍了10几张照片。
居，哥哥，
他有2个哥哥。
上好，
这家餐厅提供上好的服务。
刚好。What else can this mean? First class? 正好 first class. Top notch. Best in class. High quality or high class. I think high class or even the best is fine too. I know that that would overlap with 最好, right? I think top notch is what I would gravitate towards. 高兴，
高兴，
我很高兴你能来。
Did I add happy? Okay. Yeah, glad. I just don't say glad at all. Be happy. To be happy just in case. To be pleased. Okay.
« 真，
Freaking net gun. Listen.
听，找钱，
他们给你找钱了吗？
快，告，
To declare. Right to accuse. The state, date, dated, statement. I don't like this. Oh, I should have wrote tell as well.
风，唱歌，
他很
对不起，
对不起，我
Oh,
不是故意的。
right. They want to silence the middle. Sure.
钱包，
钱包是空的。
I don't know how to spell cleats. Is that how you spell cleats? Oh, with the T. Oh boy.
“什么？
你叫什么名字？
有钱，
有钱。
Oh no. Wait. Oh no. This is gonna be like 50-50. I knew the 50-50 was gonna come up. Or is a pig. And then we got to add more to this. To tell. Tells. Hold. Yeah. Not comprehensive.
累，大家，
大家都很开心。
Go.
走过，
我们常常走过学校。
No.
坏，
how did they argue this was a body with a slide? Just the nose and the rest is the body? Okay. Alright.
也，重，课文，
这篇课文太难了。
说，
Talk. You talk. Talk. Talks. Talked. Yeah. That's unacceptable. I had a problem with this tone, right? Yeah.
影，
Still not sure about the shadow thing though. I think we're gonna have to add something over time. Shadow is not gonna cut it.
难过，
没什么，不要难过。
Oh, okay. Difficult is on there. I was like, probably difficult should be on here. Okay. Um.
东南，
东南亚，
不用，
你不用担心。
Don't. Yeah, it's just don't. Don't. It needs to be added to that. There's no reason.
些
No reason at all. 分开
分开
把它们分开成两堆。
Okay. Okay. 有想
休想
休想阻止我达到目标。
I have no idea. 有想我达到目标。Yeah, no idea. Rest plus want think. I don't know. Don't think. Rest from thinking. Yeah, rest from thinking. I mean, that makes sense when I think about it, but I wouldn't think of it as. So I was thinking of it in a positive way, not in a negative way. That's the problem here. I was thinking of it like do not think. This will continue to be a problem. Don't think. So those. I'm thinking more like rest assured, or like I wish I had a better understanding of what this word is, which I don't. This is gonna. I need more. I need more than that.
怎么？
你的小孩怎么样？
睡。一。
Apparel. Again, incomplete. Beans, right? Beans. Amassed all of them in front of him. We had bones, beans to create a body.
体。妹妹。
他没有妹妹。
Clothing and apparel is a 50-50 if they're not both included.
正。
Correct. Precise. Accurate. True. Exact. Right. Okay.
Quan.
Do we add close? Yes, to close. Closing. Close. Closes. To shut down. To close down. To close up.
For.
Oh, jeez. Wrong tone. I did the 1-4 swap again. That's just human
来。
error.
那儿。
他在那儿立了半天了。
弟弟。
他有2个弟弟。
弟。开玩笑。
他喜欢开玩笑。
是吗？
那只狗真的很可爱。是吗
？500。
这个学校有500个学生。
请教。
有问题可以向他请教。
写作。
我的写作不太好。
composition, writing, right? That's why I written it there. Yep. Okay.
出现，
天上出现了一片乌云。
老师，
你是老师吗？
中文，
你在读中文。
教师，
我要问教师几个问题。
车票，
我买了2张车票。
试图，
试图逃跑。
No. Shen Peng? Wait. What is this? Patrick inside. Oh, because those are sea captains? Yes.
身旁，
我要坐在你的身旁。
Oh, goodness gracious. Was it yeah? Yoshi in the bathroom of the electricity plant looking through pages in order to like
夜，
yeah, this one only has page, right? Yeah, that's why it sucks. All the ones that you pause on are the ones where the character is based on the component which is overlapping, so there's nothing to go off of other than if you remember the rest of the story. So that's how I came about it, right? I knew it was page, so that's how I got the yeah. Those are weak spots that I need to compensate for. I gotta figure out a much more reliable way to get them.
第8，
我刚刚读完第8章。
么，
That's fine.
面试，
你需要准备面试。
喝，前年，
我前年这时候在中国。
Oh gosh. Okay. How does this work? If it's in front in position, is behind in time, right? Okay. I was gonna go with T. But it might be T, actually. So what do I have available to me? A slide and the silk. This is one of those again, where it's the one thing. It's only one thing. There aren't any other more keywords. Right, so let's say if I think it's T. That would place Kirby in the bathroom with silk. It's Xeno or Kirby with silk, which that doesn't help. Do I know what they want for this? What was the definition for this? Definitely not silk. It's department. It's Xena.
系
Yep. This is one of the weak ones. The mnemonic only involves department. The department is a department. So it's a weak one. And it basically has one sentence. That's why it took so long.
素 个中
个中道理
This is therein. Oh, this one I just don't know how to work. Look at this. Look at this mnemonic. Oh my gosh. Oh jeez. Therein. Okay.
难
We have. It's right. Hulk. Pawn shop. We have net dress. Yes.
还 地球
地球绕着太阳转
看到
我们无法看到未来
Sees, notice. Yeah. Themes. Okay. Oh, this is heckin' Defeng. Defeng.
得分，
客队的6号得分最多。
Sorry. Oh, meaning. What is it like? Don't need not. Oh my gosh, dude. Just don't it. Don't use. Oh, I should have. Yeah, need not. Dang it. Okay.
难忘，
他的笑容令人难忘。
Oh my gosh. Today I really felt it today. Oof. Started throwing my keyboard across the room. I'm kidding. I'm being dramatic. It wasn't too bad. The reds are popping up all the time. The red should not be popping up. It's largely the vocabulary that should be popping up, in my opinion. But holy heck, we're retroactively having lots of overlapping meaning issues, and then gotta be more. They're gonna get more and more elaborate, which is nice because I like that it's getting more and more elaborate. It means I'm thinking about more and more things that it could mean, and we're applying more and more nuances. I think that should be a natural process. Okay, all right. All right, so what do we have here? We have tongue. Tongue, blade, stork. Heckin' cloak. Boombox. Chol. Wow. Heck. This one was really dark, right? Words, blade, blade through the heart, Robin Hood, infirmary, Ren. E. What is this? Stork, Bill, Hulk, joyous, strangle the stork to bring joy, outside, oh. When this is the weight, lock in the bathroom, Slenderman just sits on the curling iron. Who was locked in the bathroom? Harry Potter. Whoops. And he wanted a croissant? Oh. Oh. Heckin' cloak, right? Cloak. It's basement, Yugi, basement. Okay. T. Done. Why, how? Why, how? Man. 跑到洗手间。不客气。It's very short, but I'm not saying 不客气。不客气 right? It's very short. 洗脑。车号。问号。慢跑。All right, let's do these. Here we go. We have Sherlock. Sherlock outside office building trying to talk to a merman with words. Right. Or speak to a merman with words. That's probably where we got into trouble and why that's still there. Hulk, bathroom, auditorium. He's practicing words. Right. Practicing his lines. It's words. The words are so good. It's bouncing off his tongue. Right. Strong words. Okay. And we have Robin Hood, bathroom, infirmary, believing that he's been abducted, and so doesn't want to like believe in, oh jeez, in the words, any of the words that they're saying. So he took a blade and plunged it into his heart. Kind of completely eluded what this is supposed to say. Like, he knows, he understands, he recognizes as he's been captured. Yes, recognize. So Jimmy Neutron, in front of the house. In front of the house has a very special machine. That basically pumps out, turns trees into cocoon men. Right? And that's where the origin of everything is. Right? Machine. Hulk in front of the pawn shop. Being delivered a bill. Being served a bill by Stork. He was happy, joyous about it because it was to strangle the guy until Joy comes back. Strangle the hate out of it. I kind of like this one because it's a positive one. I'm a very more positive oriented mnemonics. I think the negative mnemonics tend to not be very it doesn't resonate with me very well. Boomboxes are relate to Stork. And All right. So we have Harry Potter bathroom of the bakery. Is the bakery optional? Maybe not. Where Slender Man used a rod to lock Harry Potter in the bathroom where he sits on a curling stone and throw darts and just waits. Or just waits. Yugi. I'm weak on Yugis, man. All the Yugi ones are slipping. Yugi basement of the pawn shop. Where he puts on a cloak. And casts a spell that reveals a distant road that leads to yonder, right? And he goes on that distant road. Okay. Now, oops. No, that's fine. 不用. 不用 is need not, but every version of that. So that's just gonna be, and that's all we can do. It's really, unless I use not use, you could say like it's not useful. Anymore, right? What's not useful anymore? You don't need it, but that still goes back to as empiric as it can be. And this was a problem, and I decided not to fix it until now. So clothing or apparel, they're interchangeable. Let's see. 电子 is a problem. I don't know what to do about it at the moment. I'll have to come up with something as I think about it. It's the 子 电子 as opposed to silent. Nothing else really matters about that one. 休想 so rest from thinking. Have to stick with rest from thinking. Or take a break. But that still has to end up translating to don't think. We'll see if it comes up again. This one was pig and boar. These are, yeah, it's pig, but it's also boar. We didn't unify this yet, and not between the two. D, that's human error. Human error. This one, synonyms. Origin synonyms. So what was this? To declare. Declare is too strict. It's too specific. So we added like tell, make a statement, say, lots of things. 拿到 拿到。拿到。What's to get, to obtain? There's really not much there. I think I might change this. We need to talk about like destination, goal, completion. So if you're holding a completion, you're getting something, right? It's the end point of holding something is to get it, to obtain it, or in fact just to hold it. But we'll think about how that's gonna work in the future. And Joel, Joel is contentious, talk, speak, say, all of them. And this one was specifically they speak. And these are all red. So red are what I'm doing now is whenever it's a red thing, I'm adding as many things that they're associated with any other like prototypic words that I have. So any vocabulary that is very common to me, they're going to be added as synonyms to these red characters. The components ones, the components are taking into account wani kani and unifying those things because that can create interference or mix up and whatnot. Sounds are sounds, so I don't that can be human error is the biggest source here. Wani kani here. This is comprehensiveness is the concern here. And then here we have to develop new mnemonics. So that's kind of where where our focus, so where my focus is right now. We do a combination of these things for those 3 sections. All right, and that's a wrap. I think we still ended up above 94 or 95%. So regardless, it's still no consecutive errors. Errors come and go. Pretty random. Sometimes my mood may change when I'm going at and we're trying to close up. Right, close up the areas that could mislead me to thinking something else or questioning myself. I am slowing down on some of them and trying to go forwards and backwards. Like the Xena thing, right? The C character with the department, right? I'm gonna be pretty confident that I'm gonna be adding 3 or 4 more meanings to C, but for now, department is still department, right? And there are a few more. When I was looking at it, I was thinking, that doesn't help me. Like, I wish I knew this context, that kind of thing. The context sentences, maybe they'll come in someday in the future. I don't know. But other than that, still business as usual. We didn't tank anything. This is also the worst case scenario, or like the most rigorous scenario where it's peak day. I spent like 6 hours, right? Hours doing wani kani stuff. So still not too bad. I'm trying to be a little bit more emotional, largely because it kind of helps me remind myself where my problems are at the moment. Yep, that's a wrap for today. In general, because I'm taking 2 or 3 days, right? Today is March 2nd. I'm taking an R&R. This is R&R, by the way. Doing wani kani and HanziHero is R&R. Because we're largely reviewing a lot of times. Actually, except for HanziHero, we're doing 20 lessons each day. Largely to chill for a moment. I will be starting Duolingo Spanish in the day after my birthday. So this is tomorrow, or today now is the 3rd, and the 4th is my birthday. and then we're gonna start Duolingo Spanish on the 5th. So we're gonna have a third language to it, and I think Spanish is more being offered as a palate cleanser nowadays. I haven't decided if I want to place Spanish in the middle, on account of we're going to end most sessions with Japanese, because the Duolingo Japanese course is not complete yet, and that's gonna be at the end. But Spanish is a great palate cleanser. It allows me to step away from this and then come back to it. I think there's a lot of mental benefits if you're doing like long study sessions, right? So I understand that people say, oh yeah, how can you do this for a very long time? Well, during the activity, I'm doing many things at once. Like, I'm not doing the same thing for a very extended amount of time, right? And if you want to study other things, you can still continue to study, but not on the same thing a lot of times. And often they can be very different in nature, in a way that you don't start being too passive or too exhausted, right? Chinese is substantially different enough in experience now. Wanikani, I'm doing something a specific way in Wanikani, and that is very different from the way I'm doing things in HanziHero. So I'm effectively not studying the same thing and doing the same thing over and over again. And even then, I don't see people that isn't used to learning or doing intellectual things to feel like they can go for 4 or 5 hours straight learning something, right? Wanikani's long lesson days are half and half. It did take me 5 hours today, but it's more like 2.5 hours, because you're reading stuff that are being explained to you. That's the learning part. And then you're recalling the rest. So you spend like, okay, maybe a little bit more time reading, but these things take less effort, in my opinion. So when it comes to trying to make yourself not fall asleep or get bored or eye strain or mental fatigue and whatnot, trying to make it as actively different and dynamic throughout the process, and day you can kind of add more things to it. Now, does that mean you can jump right into these long sessions? No, I actually really highly discourage individuals. You start from where you're used to, right? If you're telling me, for example, there are a lot of students that I got a chance to meet and talk about at university who's interested in language learning, and they always talk about how, like, oh, I wish I could have more time to learn language, but university is doing this. Like, and I thought about, well, how long do you do at a university before you get bored, right? And I would start there personally. So even if the desire is to do more language learning, for example, because they're interested and motivated and if they can go further, you might be getting diminished return in the long run. If you're doing 30 minutes and you're super excited, and then 30 minutes is as long as your attention span goes when it comes to university stuff, which has different type of motivators like career and whatnot, stick with 30 minutes, right? Then you try to move up slowly, 35 minutes, 40 minutes. But I would honestly say, if you're having trouble already paying attention in class, that's probably what I'm saying when I'm talking about start with something you know. If you can only study for 40 minutes, like stay attentive for like 15 minutes, that's probably, you're not going to get that much significant more if you were studying 30 minutes, for example, in language learning. I think ultimately to get to this point, whether you want to or not, it takes practice, right? My sustained attention, I would say, used to be pretty terrible. I would say, to be really honest to other people, you know, before I started doing all of this stuff, I've already spent 2/3 of my life in education. And when I started, my attention span was pretty like terrible. I couldn't even do exams without struggling. So I didn't think I didn't think it was a problem back then, but upon reflection, I could have performed a lot better if I had some sort of assistance, right? However, since I didn't, you spend a lifetime, if you spend 2/3 of your lifetime trying to improve your attention span, you come up with very clever ways to do that. And nowadays, it seems like it would be, I would be lying, or I would be very deceptive if I said this was what I was like when I was younger. My younger self, I think attention span is like 10 minutes. Like when I read a book, if I try to read a book like a textbook, I get sleepy after like 15 minutes. You have to like, there are a lot of ways to try to do this. I know that I'm not saying just because you can believe it, you can change attention deficit or something like that. I understand that. Like for those who are really, really high on the spectrum, for example, or believe they are high on the spectrum, I wouldn't say that you can overcome some sort of limitations if they do exist. However, there is often always a potential for you to do better than you currently are doing. So not like comparing with another person. Like say you look out and it's like, oh yeah, this person, their baseline attention span is 4 hours. It's like, well, at least I've seen them done 4 hours. My baseline is 15 minutes, but you can do 16 minutes. There is a high chance you can do 16 minutes, 17, 20, 30. In fact, when you get older and things might kind of slow down and whatnot, like you might actually find yourself leveraging a lot of that stuff. So for me, my attention span didn't decrease as I got older. It increased as I got older. And the longer and longer that I'm doing these type of things, I don't, the thing that gives out first is my body, like food, sleep, right? Food, sleep, hygiene, things that keep you going, right? But in terms of the mind, I don't want to sell like a crash course like where there's a guarantee that your attention span will explode significantly. This stuff takes time. It takes a lot of rigorous, consistent, genuine, honest self-evaluation over time. But I would say if someone said to me, oh yeah, I don't study at all, like I didn't do all that, and then suddenly you go to college and it's like, oh, I needed to start studying, and that's was the hard part. It's like that was me too. I didn't study at all in high school. I didn't even do homework at home. I did homework in homerooms and on the bus ride. My homework is done before I even leave the day to go on the bus. It was very short. Things were very fast. And I didn't practice any of those skills. Those skills came later. They came in college when I realized that, yeah, I have no skill development in that area. In fact, I would say I owe it a lot to my best friends. My best friends, they studied like crazy. They're always on top of things. They're constantly working ahead of time. Like my closest best friends, my brothers from them, while we have lots of thinking capacities and stuff on the same wavelength, right? Like values and stuff, my habits were way different from those guys. They had like, because of that exposure, it's like, well, I can do that too, right? And that's kind of where all that started. And I was already 19 years old, so or 19 to 20 years old. So for those who like tell themselves, well, I wish I wasn't lazy, right? Or I could do all these things if I could engage myself and stay focused and whatnot. Like I'm pretty sure I was no different, or very not significantly, almost negligibly different. Like negligibly different, not different at all from the 20-year-olds who are in universities that I've met time and time again while language learning, and constantly showing signs of disinterest, right? Disinterest is confounded by their perception that they have short attention spans. Also, it doesn't help that the internet exists now. I would argue I had below average attention span, even without the internet. Like the internet causing you to want to be so brief and so quick and whatnot. In fact, I would argue the longer time you have spent using the internet, right, and relying on the internet, the more potential you have, the more wiggle room you have to practice and gain a lot of that attention back. I don't believe that whatever is happening here and what it almost seems like a pandemic just randomly happened, right? You know, the increased in detection or tests or something about attention span in general. I think a lot of it is conditioned, and that conditioning it's not permanent. It's not a permanent condition. So even while I'm interacting with like Wanikani and HanziHero, I still think these apps, these self-study apps are barely extending or encouraging focused, oriented, behavioral, introspective way of improving your learning over time. They're products to help you become informed, right? However, it doesn't naturally or promote constantly robustly increasing your volume at a careful rate and then decreasing your volume at a careful rate. They're using your metrics and the results you desire. So like nowhere on HanziHero is saying, except for one thing, the nice thing about SRS in my opinion is the wait time, right? It's really shocking, but the wait time is better than no wait time in my opinion in this course of self-studying. I think it applies and it's relevant to the majority. So more than 50% of the people having that wait time, the hope, and this is a really big silver lining, the hope is it encourages that person to understand that they can engage in something else while not consistently fixated on a single thing that enters diminished return. Now, what they do with that time is, unfortunately, in my opinion, could be a conflict of interest, largely because when you're really focused on your learning and then you have to take a break from the learning, the likelihood of younger people now would be engaged in something that requires less focus, right? Things that actually would condition back the shortness in focus. So like scrolling through TikTok, right? Getting your dopamine, right? And getting your dopamine when it arguably has diminished return, right? Do you have to scroll TikTok? Some people will say yes, they need to scroll TikTok. It's a normalized behavior. At the expense of one task you need requires more and more focus, and focusing on those strategies, right? Ironically, or like paradoxically. And at the other end, you're engaging your source of entertainment or source of solace is engaging in an activity that kind of reduces your attention span, right? Inherently removes the need for your attention span. Now, this is comparing apples and oranges in a sense that one is being presented as exclusively increasing your attention span and one is middle, but it's a mixed bag, right? There are ways to enjoy things that doesn't necessarily promote decreasing your attention span. Like, it can encourage you to even sustain your focus. There are ways to do that. I don't know what they are, largely because people are motivated by their own source of habits, so it can be anything. For myself, sometimes I try my best to listen to an audiobook for more than an hour. You know, something like that, but it's a mix. And then learning is similar. Like, I no longer do the thing where, when I'm learning, I'm always trying to focus on increasing my focus in general. But now, like, having these types of tools, I can kind of see the neatness in it, where, oh yeah, this is very fast, this is very really quick, very twitchy, and then I would learn in a different way too. So that's kind of the moral of the story here, right? I think there are a lot of people that I've met that have come to this realization at a much later time, which is fine, right? Learning is a journey, learning a language is a journey. At a much later time of a realization that the more different ways they engage in learning something, once they cap their attention, right? Like, oh yeah, you can only do 30 minutes of Anki. That's fine. Now you get to do 30 minutes of something else. If you're pushing yourself really, really hard and you're saying, okay, I already only do 30 minutes, and then suddenly you see yourself waving, but you're powering through to an hour and an hour and a half because that's what the tool is telling you you must complete, then I would argue doing those 30 minutes and then doing something else with that time that involves your task would be more likely far more productive, I suppose, for lack of a better word. Maybe like less diminished return, right? So oftentimes it takes like 2 or 3 years into learning your second language because maybe in school and university haven't taught you that discipline yet, or implicitly let you to naturally think about it, where how do you juggle 5 different subjects, right, in school in order to get A's on all of them? Well, they all might require different techniques, different strategies, or you could be the person who brute forces and use the same strategy for every single course, right? And that same strategy can be a hit or miss unless that strategy is so encompassing that you're actually working way, way harder. In that regard, you are applying a strategy that requires so many engagement and you're applying it 5 times over. That's another way. That's for, you know, those smart people who have great attention spans, great memory. I didn't do that. I learn a certain way for very specific classes so that I don't have to overcompensate on one strategy meeting all the classes needs, right? A one size fits all, but enough that it covers all the A's across the board. So this is kind of the thing that you hear about way later when someone's learning a language. Like, oh yeah, you know, I bounced from this tool to this tool to this tool, and then I came back to this tool 6 months ago, and so on and so forth, instead of doing all of them in parallel, but in a more disciplined and scheduled manner. And to me, that also works on the other side of things, which is enjoyment, pleasure, right? Entertainment, inspiration, hobbies. That's probably what I wanted to say largely that's been going on in my head. I'm trying to think of when I'm going to review these points. I think SRS has a lot of useful things and also a lot of caveats, like caveats much like Duolingo does, right? And yeah, both. It's still both. They don't overlap. I mean, my suspicions were they don't overlap and they have like pros and cons to the whole learning process. But more on that next time. Just wanted to end on a more interesting note because the last 10 days, I wasn't talking much about learning. I was more about Pirate Yakuza. Now that Pirate Yakuza, we completed that project, we're starting a new one. So more on that, on why Duolingo Spanish, like why now? I'm going to have to answer these questions probably in the near future. Probably more so since Spanish is far more, not a competition, but Spanish is far more relevant when it comes to exposure and number of speakers and, number of speakers and readers and whatnot. So I imagine someone's going to ask like, so why Japanese, Chinese, and Spanish, and why all three, right? Largely because I have a lot of time. However, that time is spent doing different things. Language learning might seem like the same if you're gonna treat it like it's the same, right? I intentionally didn't treat it the same. So whenever I'm using HanziHero, it doesn't overlap with Wanikani. And even to the inexperienced person, I suppose, would say that, oh, these tools are the same, right? I would say they're the same, but different based on how you use it. So I'm still full of energy and enthusiasm when I'm doing HanziHero as opposed to Wanikani. And then when I switch to Duolingo, it's something else. It's doing something else. And it often is very mentally reviving, like it's reinvigorating because you're doing a different task. If one is incapable of doing that, then it's, in my opinion, it would be an exercise in diminished return. If you're constantly saying reading a manga is basically the same as doing your Anki for Japanese learning, then yes, I would agree with you. Only do one of them habitually. There's no way I could convince there's no way one can gaslight. Well, you could try, but I would, that's very negligent. It's up to the user to be able to create that intellectual curiosity that is different. So if you're saying they basically all lead to the same goal, then yes, stick with one tool, because all the tools, you treat them the same way, right? If you think it's only interesting because they only provide one thing and one goal, then yeah, your resources are limited. You are narrow-minded. You have to accept the consequences of being narrow-minded. You're very focused on one task alone. And if that one task fails to provide, then that's it. That's all eggs in one basket. So if you're going hard and it's like, oh yeah, I burned out on Anki, it's probably because you either failed to diversify, or you went so hard that pushed beyond a mental limit so quickly that there's no form of adjustment, right? And there's no way to disperse that time. You spent all the time focused on one thing, believing it's one thing, and that the one thing leads you to what you want. That, to me, is something that's definitely worth having a dialogue with yourself sometimes. Or maybe all the time for those who are really, really hyper-focused. And not hyper-focused in a sustained manner, right? I can't tell you how many. If I had $1, let's make it fun. If I had a sub for every time someone said they did something, then they did another thing because the first thing stopped working, and then they're gonna do the second thing until it stops working, and then the third thing, and then realize that the first thing or the furthest thing from their current thing that they're doing is no longer memorable, and they have to retrace their steps and learn those things. That's probably what I'm referring to. And I think that's the common approach that's normalized by the internet. You take up someone's method and you fully commit to that method, and you hope that that method is not going to linger as one type of engagement. It is possible for them to work like a whole method, but you have to bring something with you too. Like Wanikani and HanziHero, day in and day out, if you take it as a face value, like for instance, if I took it as a face value, I would be no different from the next person. I would think it's boring after a month, or maybe even less, and then my days would dip, right? My enthusiasm would dip right away. So and it not only did my time go up, right? I'm less and less tired when I'm doing this stuff, and I'm gaining more and more things to do as I'm going, and I can choose when to stop and choose when not to stop. That's kind of why I think being really invested in how you learn something can go a long way for those who are not used to doing it. I know that there are people, the type of people that would be far more already on board, like they already know this stuff. And that would be people who maybe are in higher education or in a professional consultation, like a consultant roles. That's not the majority of people I encounter most of the time. Like it's a very noticeable gap between someone who is well informed and spend a lot of time learning information or like memorizing information versus someone who didn't spend all of the time memorizing, brute forcing and using rote memory techniques to know the information, remember the information. They talk as though they're saying, well, I don't know the information, but I know how to learn it or acquire the skill if I so desire, right? And then it's somewhere in between, right? The difference between being competent in learning and knowing a lot of things. There's a large gap between how people say or present information and then say and present the limitations of their information, right? Oh, this is the right answer. It's like, well, let's think about it for a moment and talk about why we're having a discussion if this is the right answer. There's got to be some discrepancy if we're having a discussion about something that is universally true. That kind of thing. Very different. Which I haven't had too many conversations lately, largely due to like learning stuff isn't very popular, right? So perhaps I'll be engaging in something a little bit more trendy in the future. We'll see. So with that, this is the end of HanziHero. It's the end of our session today, like language learning session in general. Thank you for hanging out. If you're gonna watch this later, 谢谢. Right. So until next time, 下次再聊吧。下次见。Stay safe, stay healthy, and take care. Happy studying. Bye bye.